Hi guys, Amy Hedke, Ellis County. I oppose the school subsidy welfare program that is masquerading as an educational savings account. I would ask y'all and our previous speaker, Randon Steinhauser from this morning, to extend the same amount of respect to the taxpayers in making clear the differences between a traditional privately funded educational savings account and a state-funded subsidy on a welfare debit card. While there may be minor policy differences, Representative Allen is correct. The tangible effect is the same as a voucher program. These are not savings accounts like existing educational savings accounts or healthcare savings accounts. The old joke is that you can tell what a bill does by taking its title and applying the opposite, like the Affordable Care Act. I feel like we're pointing out the emperor has no clothes. I had heard proposed percentages given, but no dollar amounts of how much would be on these welfare cards. At the SREC meeting last month, the yearly numbers given were $5,200 average, $6,500 if low income, and $7,800 for special needs. That's a lot of dough. In the Education Clause, a general diffusion of knowledge being essential to the preservation of the liberties and rights of the people, I'd like to note the part about being essential to the preservation of the liberties and rights of the people. Our liberties are preserved one of two ways: the legislative process and the Second Amendment. Legislatively, we see voter apathy on full display every election. Percentage of voter turnout is equivalent to a failing grade. The public schools have failed in making sure that people are actively engaged in the preservation of their liberties. Unfortunately, that will leave the Second Amendment to eventually do the job that you fail to do legislatively. Now, every time Ratliff was saying ISD, I kept thinking Independent Sports District. So let's restore the S in the ISD too. If it doesn't teach kids how to actually preserve their liberties, it is not in line with the constitutional mandate. He spoke about the problem trusting parents. We have teachers in jail too. We have people educated in the public school in jail too. As a mom of 5 who homeschooled for 20 years, his argument is pretty weak. As he references the Kraft foods listed on the food stamp lists, he unwittingly exposes the incompetency of the state to make good nutritional decisions for families. I'm betting he'll tell us next that Brawndo is what plants crave. To quote my favorite superhero, I know we're not perfect, but the safest hands are still our own. It was asked, how do we deal with dueling research studies? The answer is by listening to how they want to control you and violate your liberties. The school subsidy welfare program wants to take money from everyone and redistribute it. Bastiat warns about legal plunder, and that's exactly what is going on with current funding mechanisms for education. Taxation is theft. Nobody has quoted the Republican Party of Texas platform yet, so I guess I'll point out the obvious in a majority Republican legislature. Plank 147, school choice. We support the distribution of educational funds in a manner that they follow the student to any school, whether public, private, charter, or homeschool, through means of tax exemptions and or credits. Tax credits are good. Fake ESA is bad. The professor showed his bias towards the end, that the private and charters are threatening public authority. And excuse me, but where the hell does he think public authority comes from to begin with? That flies in the face of the Declaration of Independence, the U.S. Constitution, the Texas Constitution, and basic moral decency. The fake ESA program needs to die, and the state needs to back off education.
Thank you. I almost got you.
I intentionally cut my speech just a little bit.
Thank you.